What's going on, everybody? Mortem here, this time bringing you a look at Heretic plus Hexen, official remasters for games of the same name, that is to say Heretic and Hexen individually, that were released just a couple days ago, on I believe it was August 7th, coinciding with the kickoff of Quakecon. After they released them, Xbox reached out and asked if I wanted to take a look at them. Obviously, I said yes, which is how I'm bringing you this video, important to know. And while this might seem a little strange compared to the things I normally cover, what you may or may not know, depending on how much you watch the channel, I suppose, is that every once in a while I like to play these old shooter-type games, specifically to get a palate cleanser from the occasional very long RPG, that kind of thing, because sometimes it's just fun to shoot things. But in covering games like that in the past, one thing that people have always suggested, actually, is that I take a look at both Heretic and Hexens. So these remasters are in fact very timely. And as soon as I completely clear up what I'm working on now, I do plan on giving this a full review. Now, these remasters were worked on by id Software and Night Dive Studios collectively, and while you may think for an older game like this they just kind of got it working on modern computers and called it a day, but you would be mistaken. They seem to have put in a substantial amount of work on this, bringing all of the original episodes for those games, plus adding 2 more, and a whole host of other changes we're about to get into. I did also want to mention here towards the beginning that if you owned the original of these games over on Steam, you actually got a free upgrade to Heretic plus Hexen. So if you've been a long-time fan, you might be able to check this out for free, but otherwise everything we're about to go into is available for $15. Now, these games can be divided into their episodes, of which there were 3 originally, and then they added 2 brand new ones to this remaster collection, meaning that even if you've played these before, there is actually brand new content here if you want to take a look at it. That means effectively there's basically the campaign of Heretic Shadow of the Serpent Riders, Heretic Faith Renewed, which is new, and then Hexen Beyond Heretic, Hexen Death Kings of the Dark Citadel, and then the new one, Hexen Vestiges of Grandeur. Which means all in all, just for the campaigns, you're looking at like 117 maps, which is not insubstantial, but in addition to all of that new single-player content, they've also got online cross-platform deathmatch and co-op for up to 16 players working for people. In fact, if you want to take that even farther, you can also do local split-screen deathmatch and co-op. They've also added a brand new remixed soundtrack that you can choose to use the original if you would prefer. They're also fully supporting mods, community published for the most part, but there is an in-game mod browser for you to take a look at these mods. They've obviously done things like improved performance, supporting up to 4K resolution properly, so it should be running on modern machines quite well. They also included a vault so you could check out things like concept art, unused sprites, and whatnot on top of all that. But beyond just those things, they've also added a host of accessibility options, updated the UI, improved the legibility of everything as it's scaling up to higher resolutions now, so some of that stuff had to be fixed. They've added modern controller support. They've added several options to choose between either the original versions or new balance updates, things to basically make enemies and even some of the weapons behave a little bit differently. But again, you can choose either the original or the new stuff. They've got support for widescreen monitors. They fixed a whole host of bugs. They translated the game into 12 new languages. And all of that is before you even get into what the actual games themselves are individually, which is honestly pretty wild. I have to imagine this was a not insubstantial amount of work to, get all of this working properly. But what makes these games unique? Why should any random passerby be interested? Well, Heretic and Hexen released in 1994 and 1995 using a modified Doom engine. They were considered groundbreaking at the time because they included things like an inventory system, vertical aiming. Hexen even has different character classes you can choose to play as, like a warrior, a cleric, or a mage, which all behave a little bit differently in terms of the weapons they have access to, but also things like how fast they move, how much damage they take, that kind of thing. There is actually also some story to be had here as well, and while Heretic can be a little ambiguous about certain things, Heretic I think does a better job of laying some of it out for you, but the gist of it is that in Heretic, 3 brothers known as Serpent Riders are causing all sorts of war and chaos across the various realms, only to meet resistance from a group of elves who were then branded heretics, and you are one of those elves. a heretic for all intents and purposes, trying to put a stop to, at the very least, one of these Serpent Riders, Disparal, something like that. Whereas Hexen then takes it a little bit farther with you fighting the other two Serpent Riders across other dimensions like the world of Hexen. With both of the new episodes actually adding on to this, both story and lore-wise, by continuing where the original campaigns kind of left off, so you can kind of continue the story and see it from that perspective. So there is actually a fair bit of lore in here as well, if that's something you want to get up to. But as for myself, mostly I'm just looking forward to diving into these classics. Like I've said, these are games that have been recommended to me many times over, and more immediately, I'm very impressed with all the work they've put into this, precisely because it's going to make experiencing these cult classics much easier for myself. Now, talking about moving to review this one, I am currently very busy with a couple of other games, so my current plan is basically to finish the stuff I am already in the middle of and then circle back to this once that is done, which honestly I'm gonna need because, as I mentioned towards the top of the video, I like to play these games as a palate cleanser, and that is going to be the exact purpose of the upcoming review for these remasters. So with any luck, I should be going through these by the end of the month, hopefully, once I am caught back up on everything else I need to get done, as it's been just a nonsense week for me. But as for right now, that's pretty much everything I've got for you guys. I thought this was really cool. Obviously wanted to highlight it ahead of my own impending review for it. But in the meantime, I certainly hope you enjoyed the look at these classics. If you did, by all means, like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz. Let me know how you feel about all this down in the comments section below. But regardless of any of that, truly, just thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. May you wander in wisdom and have an amazing day.